part of the journey? Like, if not Ashwin, like who else probably would come close to Ashwin's stature for inviting you for what you're good at?
Anybody. As long as I can talk cricket, I am more than happy to talk it. It's all I know. I want to learn a lot more about the game because, uh, it's been a sport that has been in chambers in terms of education. Now, all of us have grown up hearing different set of people on commentary, and that plays a massive part. Why the discourse around commentary revolves so much is because I sometimes feel we are not learning as much from commentary as much as we should. And most often we are told that this is what the audience wants. Fair. But there can always be a smaller channel. There can always be a smaller alternate way for us to learn more about the game. Teach us about the bobble ball. Teach us about the back of the hand and how why is it difficult for a guy who has outswing to bowl the back of the handball because then the wrist may not. See, we are not technical experts, but cricket is such a random game. Half of us don't even understand. Things are so random, we don't even know why they are happening, but they're just happening. So let's try and make some patterns and at the same time try and learn so much about the game. So uh, I am more than happy to anybody who's listening to me. Okay, if you feel I can contribute, I am more than happy. And I would really love to also thank Davy Jacobs. Uh, Very few people might know his name, but Davy Jacobs played for MI, was in Champions League. First player who tweeted out for me during the IPL, where no, this was how absolutely crazy game this is. It was a Rajasthan MI game, the Rahul Dravid special game, where he tweets out, "There are very few people who are as passionate and crazy about the game. I hope you get everything that you want to in your life." This is Davy Jacobs. He's not even an Indian player, but he could see through the passion. He could see through the absolute nonsense that I used to speak, because I've been on Twitter since 2010. So I've spent there. I was 20 then, so I would have 100% done a lot of nonsense tweets. But even in then, this is 2013, so it's not too far away. So for him to still pick up that and give me, and you need that motivation. So, all of us are eventually humans. We are all living by everything that we can cling on to. How Ashwin is this? The Ashwin auction is that moment where God told me that I am taking care of you. You don't worry. I will write a good story for you. All you have to do is trust me. You have to put in your hard works. And if you do them, you will get this. So that is that one moment of, oh, I'll latch on to this. So I think Davy Jacobs was that one uh, moment in my very early cricket career where I felt like if he can see this, I'm sure somebody else will also see and maybe help me grow better and talk about the game in a much better way as well. So I have no this or that. I am happy till the time I'm talking cricket. I am happy to do it with whoever, wherever, whenever, because that is all that I know.
Good to know. And I must ask you this. When I reached out to you about, making time to chat with us, I also mentioned we will bring in a fun segment, which is quiz for you. And your immediate reaction was, I'm in,
No.
boss. I'll talk to you, but keep the quiz aside. It gives me sleepless nights. So why is that?
So I had a few not so good experiences with quizzes, and there is a small part of me which always feels like maybe I should have done reporting as a educational degree so that I would have gotten this and gotten that. And some of those quiz experiences have been such that I've been ridiculed for not knowing something, and it is something I'm still trying to get better at as a person because I am on social media, but I'm still not that as thick skin. I've been, a center of a lot of laughter and a lot of troll. And I experienced that when I started into this field as well. In terms of if you say something, I told you, I'm an Amazoni fan. But the same fandom is telling me you are an MSD hater. And as a child, you're like, but I'm not a hater. I'm just telling you what it is. But sometimes you don't quite get into that situation where how do I balance this out? That I need to speak my mind, but still be okay. And quizzes and all of this is something where I get very I may know the answer, but I still get too conscious about the fact that, dude, if I end up saying something wrong, I'll end up as a meme, and I cannot be a meme in this day and age. So again, it is something I'll get better at for sure. And one day we will do a quiz together. You can ask me. I'll hopefully try and do the best of it, because again, it is just something that has not been my forte. Uh, I'll remember things, but yeah, quiz is something that takes me a lot of time to get my engine rolling, because there is a lot of mental stuff that I have to put aside to then think on that line. So yeah, sorry for that.
I know you mentioned IPL is your favorite time of the year. You can only pick one: Test cricket, T20
Okay,
cricket, One Day cricket,
test
and
cricket.
why? Why?
It teaches me a lot. Teaches me a lot more about life, second chances, epic comebacks. Life is a long marathon, not a sprint.
At the end of each day, just before you wrap, you post a stumps GIF. Is it planned? Is it the theme of the day, or is it instantly what comes off your mind? What happens before you post, and how do you summarize those GIFs?
Nice, lovely question. So what I do, it's a routine for me since, I don't know, maybe school times, that I would check the schedule for the next day before sleeping. How was the schedule? When is the match? This is the time I have to be free. I cannot be doing any work. No matter how important that work is, I cannot be doing that work. I have to just ensure that I'm free at that point of time. So then when I'm visualizing is when I understand, or I feel, maybe this is the player who might do well tomorrow. So then when I got onto Twitter, I would be like, let me put a post which says end of play stumps, because now you will not expect any more tweets from me. I'm done for the day. And uh, this is the one guy who will do well. So if I can get a GIF of that player, I'll put up that GIF, and I'll be like, done. And there are so many times where maybe before the India South Africa game, or in the World Cup as well, the GIF that I put up of the bowler eventually ends up doing well, and I'm like, the end of play stumps GIF was perfect. The process is to still try and do better as you go along. Yesterday I wanted to post about Karthik Tyagi. I could not before the KKR SRS game. So I put up a post of Hardik Pandya getting his stumps rolled over. So again, I've tried and kept my profile very cricket authentic in terms of stumps is the last thing that happens in it, and Hawaii Test cricket. Because if it wasn't Test cricket, I would not put end of play stumps. It would be end of innings. It would be days play break, whatever. It is end of play stumps because I've done text commentary for 6 years, and that's what I've written. So that is why end of play stumps.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Good stuff. I think, look, we can keep going on and on. I'm respectful of your time. Couple more things just before
Sure,
I
sure,
let you
sure.
go. Of course, we will have to talk about women's cricket. I want to
Yes.
touch a couple of angles. One,
Yeah.
about resurgence of Indian women's cricket. Of course, we are world champions now in ODI. Great feeling. So is it natural progression with talent, or our domestic system, our selection, or the funds? That's first question. What triggered our resurgence? On the flip side, Australia women's cricket team, at some point, they were unbeatable. Now the bridge is coming closer and closer with England, South Africa. Yesterday, New Zealand Malikers,
Yeah.
fantastic inning. So
179.
Aussies no longer are those invincible. What happened? Is it transition of players, or the other teams are coming up the speed? That's third. And fourth, Smriti Mandana versus Harmanpreet Kaur. Both of them are at similar stages of their career. What's the transition plan? So there are three parts of questions, but really keen to hear thoughts.
Yeah. I think the ecosystem is the answer to the first both. Uh, I think the ecosystem is gradually trying to get there, to be at a stage where it is in a place where it can take care of everyone. Even right now, I don't think we are in the healthiest of places in terms of getting the right cricket at the right time, in the right format, because we're playing test, but like the test match, like the pink ball test which happened just very recently. You see those dismissals there, and you feel like my problem is not with the players. My problem is with the system and how it is thinking that they can be fined just by playing a random one-off game out of the blue. It will not happen like that. We've had in men's cricket, and I'm sorry to draw that parallel because we're speaking about women's cricket, but just to give you the example of the toughness of pink ball cricket is very, very different. To just expect people to just adapt to pink ball cricket with a random game tells you why there has to be a lot more effort that has to be put in by the administrators in the game, that you give the people the best chance of coming off. I think a lot of things, a lot of players have sacrificed a lot of things to get them where they are. But I think their job is now done. Now it's the job of the administrators to learn from, say, a Cricket Australia women's cricket model, where you see how professional they are in terms of their setup, how much cricket they play, what all is being done. And the reason cannot always be what is the output. I think it's a very wrong way of looking at sport. You cannot look at sport eventually at every point of time by saying how much are they winning. You first have to get into a place where you are good enough to win, and then you can start asking how much are they winning. So I think the Indian team has gotten there, which is where you see the gap also reducing because teams are catching up. You had a World Cup final where neither of those big threes were part of a T20 World Cup final in women's cricket. That's a crazy and a very good place to be in, and that's what you want to see in cricket. But it will only happen when there is a systematic investment which is done, where you are taking care of the ecosystem, where every player knows what is to be done to get where they are, and then the selections and then the preparations are such. In cricket, preparation matters the most. The reason why I took the ping ball example, because it's the hardest thing to do right now is to crack ping ball cricket. And how much preparation did they have? What
Zero.
all did you do? Your camps are not going to simulate good enough experiences for you, and that maybe if you want to do a trial, do a trial at home. See, there are multiple solutions. Eventually, it comes down to the intent of the ecosystem to take care of it. And as for Australia, it is good. Thankful to Ian Bishop for making that line about Tyler Megra catching thin air, because it's very rare. A lot of us have spent a lot of time watching Herman get her bat stuck, Mithali getting out in the wrong way. For that to happen and for Hilly to drop a catch, oh my god! Proper meme times. We've prayed for times like these. So uh, I think it also told you in the way we celebrated that Australia win. I feel we celebrated the Australia win a lot more than the World Cup win, because it has always been the hurdle for this team. Whether it is the Commonwealth Games that happened before, where you had them, you had them in control, and yet they found a way to come back. Why? The ecosystem. The ecosystem is so strong that you can have a number eight, number seven, number eight take the game away from you. So uh, please, yeah, I know there will be few who will fact check case 6, 7, they 7, but the point here is they have people who can take the game away from you, and
Yeah.
that's where you want to get at, because they've set an example. Good to follow them, right? So I'll hope that's what the system does. There's a T20 World Cup coming up. I'm hopefully, I'm confident. Hopefully, we'll use the right resources, because usage is something that I always get very ranting about in cricket, because a lot of times I feel a lot of teams have the resources, but sometimes they are stuck in their plans, and you feel if you are using these resources differently, you'll get better results. But it's a constant process. We all live differently. We all look to plan differently. So that's okay. But till the time they are getting the right people in, you look at the talent that is coming through. The WPL auction had so many youngsters who came in. Last year we had Sri Charni. Sri Charni to me is India's answer to Sophie Eccleston. Until date, if you ask me, the only person I would say I would pick ahead of Jasprit Bumrah is Sophie Eccleston. And I touch my ears whenever I say, like, in a sense of paying respect, that I think I have not seen anybody that good at that age. And she's not old. She's yet to hit peak of a player's career of sorts. And you remember that super over that she bowled to Smriti Mandana and RC. There are collect few people in the world, I think, who can do that. So to me, uh, I think Sophia Cliston is just gift from God to watch her play. Just watch her play. Take the right lessons in terms of how she's had a lot of highs and lows, but she's found a way to be one of the top bowlers in world cricket. So I would love to see her do well, but I think India should hopefully do well. So yeah, Sri Channi. If I'm telling Sri Channi is that answer, it tells you there is so much scope with Kashri Gautam. There are so many players who are still coming through, and they might also be the answers. They might be the next Shefalis who we don't not know, but we will only know if they are given enough chances. So that's where I feel the transition has to happen. Where I honestly expected Harman to be like, though the World Cup is done, uh, time to go. But we've seen with Indian captains, we don't go when we win a World Cup. It's very rare
Yeah,
for us to leave on a high. So it's okay.
for sure. Yeah, fascinating. 10 overs, 20 runs for 3 wickets
Yeah.
and things like that. So, yeah, she's a special talent. Uh, Excellent. So let's spend in the fun segment. I think what you're naturally skilled at, which is prediction time, especially for IPL. So I'll run through a bunch of things which I've noted. Some of them are
Sure.
pretty straightforward, but let's see what you say. One
Okay.
uncapped player in 2026 who will emerge where none of us heard or known about. So is there any player like that?
Uh, Unfortunately, I can't take one name because I think there are three, four. Mukul Chaudhary already played a game for Lucknow. Uh, I'm hoping Tejasvi plays as well. I'm excited to see Prashant Veer as well. So yeah, these three names for now.
Yeah, Mukul Chaudhary. I think Arjun Tendulkar also mentioned in his recent podcast about Mukul Chaudhary. So yeah, one to look out for. Uh, who will be the best captain by the end of this IPL?
Maybe one of the coaches because we hardly know who's captaining teams right now. But I think Shreyas Iyer should win it hands down.
Oh, okay. Will there be a 300? No, SRH can't be the answer. Will there be a 300 this IPL?
I don't want it to happen. So I've predicted 281 to be the highest score in this season, and I'll hope it is there. I think 300 will be too much. I don't want to. Bowlers are there for a reason. Respect them. So 281. Happy BBS.
Okay. Will there be a hat trick this IPL?
Yeah, yeah, there should be.
Who will take it? Who's best placed?
It will be random. It will be the most unexpected bowler, just like Romario Shepherd in T20 World Cup. Nobody of us will see it coming.
Will there be a super over in the final this year?
I want to see at least a couple of super overs because, like in the South Africa Afghanistan game, teams love to lose and sometimes they try too hard. So we should see a couple of super overs this season.
Who would be the orange cap?
That's a tough one. For his sake, I hope it is Shubman Gill.
Wow, big call, man. He started averagely. Purple cap.
Purple cap is very hard. I think I had three, four names for orange cap, but purple cap is very difficult to call because we've seen decks not being that good for getting a bunches like wickets in bunches. So I wish it was Varun, but I'll be if because I'm seeing Punjab getting close to the title. Maybe Asdeep Singh.
Okay, Arshdeep Singh, impressive. Who will be the best overseas player in IPL?
Uh, I felt Jacob Bethel, but I don't know if he will play enough games. As of now, from what it is going, I think Phil Allen. KKR may not qualify. I don't know whether they would or not, but I think Phil Allen will leave a good impact on this season.
Will RCB defend the title?
I think they'll almost do it.
I think so too. I think they definitely are going to be the makers. Uh, if if not Bumrah, who would have the lowest economy rate this IPL?
My God, does anybody like that exist?
Prasid Krishna.
Uh, he could if he only bowls 3 overs when the opposition needs that less in 8 overs. But I'm taking a hunch, Mohammad Siraj.
Brilliant. And of course, the best wicket keeper. Who would that be?
Wow. So let's run through. I'm not taking uncapped names. No MS there. Uh, yeah, I would want Sanju to be that. Hopefully, he'll be.
Yeah, yeah, I feel so too. If he plays all the games, I think his
Yeah.
best chance. Excellent. Look, I've taken an hour, 20 minutes. This was awesome. There's a lot more to unpack, but so much to learn. And Nikhil, really appreciate your time and patience in answering. Thank you. And for the folks who are watching, cricket is about the game of moments, right? As we always say. But today, hopefully, you learn how to understand those moments and how Knicks reach those moments before they happen, which is fantastic. Thanks again for reminding us about the great game of cricket. And until next time, keep watching, keep reading the game. And Knicks, thanks again, bye, very much. And I'm sure we will speak again very soon.
Yes, yes. Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Good to go a trip down the memory lane. Thank you so much for this.
Excellent. Thank you, buddy. See you, Tech.